Good morning, Michael Masserang here again, and I'm here for part 2 of the video. We have completed our industrial mold cleaning service for the home, as well as installing our Atmox controlled ventilation system for long-term moisture control. Basically picking up where another company left off. Unfortunately, had to basically redo the entire job, as we talked about in the first part of the video. You can see here this house has had a lot of renovations, and we've installed an Atmox system. You can see here where this is a standard new construction vent. I've opened the vent. You can see where the team has blocked this vent from any air exchange. The controlled ventilation system works similarly to an encapsulation, as we're controlling the airflow in and out of this crawl space. And we certainly want to be able to offer the customers the advantage of not only having fresh air as part of the solution, but also to maintain the crawl space health, crawl space air quality, and also retain the natural stacking effect that this old home was built with. It's important to understand the older the house, the harder it is to encapsulate. So it's much better off to design a hybrid system that actually goes with how the house was built. The Atmox program works by a factor of dew point. And basically today we've got a warmer, more humid day. So notice the intake fans. We've got a triple intake fan here. This is the outside sensor, which is reading all of the data from the outside weather and sending it back to the main controller, which is in the house. We have a second intake here behind this exchanger. These are triple intake fans. We'll put a picture of that up on the screen for you to see. These triple intakes move quite a bit of air. The rest of the points have been closed off, except for the exit points, which we'll see here in a second. And we've completely redone the crawl space, which I'll come back to in a minute here. Here we are on the right side of the house. Part of our protocol was to completely redo these vent wells. Most of the vent wells were filled with debris and were not dug out below grade. So you can see here we added an additional location, removed the old location, added pea gravel in the base to make sure these are dug out. A lot of times water intrusion issues into a crawl space is just the result of clogged vent wells. Vent wells are one of the first things I look at in inspections. And if these get filled with debris and extra soil and so forth, water can pass right through and get into the crawl space. And a lot of these companies will push expensive, sump pumps and foundation drains, when just doing simple outside maintenance is a much cheaper and simpler approach. And you can see where this one's even gotten some additional debris since the guys were here. So it's important to check these. If you have a house with a lot of below grade vents, that you check them periodically, make sure you keep the debris dug out. This is one of the exit points. Again, this is a multi-compartment crawl space. And because it's got multi-compartments, air movement was even more important. So this is an exit point, one of the triples here. And this is also an exit point. And it's important to realize that inside the crawl space, we have a series of dead corner fans and a pipe fan. It's also installed to move air from the original crawl space, which is part of the original construction, to this addition section. And so this is if you remember, this is the lower entry point for the rear addition section. And the guys have this put all back together today, so I'm not going to disturb this. But again, it's a vented crawl space. It's designed to ventilate upwards to the attic vents. Another vent well correction here. Since we've left, the customer has put out some mulch. This location could use a gutter extension, but you want to make sure all your gutters are extended properly, vent wells corrected. And of course, having a common sense moisture program that makes sense and stay under vented code so you have more options. And we'll take a brief a brief tour of the inside of the crawl space here next. Okay, we're back here at the crawl entrance. Hit the lights here so we can see a few key components. Customer did choose a dark liner. A lot of times we'll put in a white 10 mil contractor class, irregardless whether it's black or white. Important to go with contractor class, no fiber reinforcement, because the fiber reinforcement tends to off-gas odor. We are running a commercial class dehumidifier. This is an April Air that the customer already owned, and we're just going to integrate that unit into the system so that you can see that the dehumidifier is running today because it's a humid day, and this is okay. Where we really save the customer a lot of money is if we have a good day outside where it's low moisture, low dew point. There's no need to run this dehumidifier, and we can run on the outside fans. And you can see this crawl space is really tight, not a lot of room to work. So this was kind of a tough job as far as doing the cleaning process and deploying the system. But also with this system, we go about 20 feet that way. We do have a wood moisture sensor. The wood moisture sensor is the most important part of this program. You cannot operate a properly calibrated system, whether it's an encapsulated crawl space or a controlled ventilation system, unless you have a wood moisture sensor. You want to keep your wood moisture between 10 and 14%, and this system helps to do so. So, relative humidity only protocols just don't give you enough information or enough data. And we certainly want to have the science to back up any type of program we put in place. We also did an industrial cleaning service. When this customer bought the home, they did hire one of the local companies that's not certified in mold. And if you'll remember here, the testing proved that there was still aspergillus and penicillium in here. So we basically redid the whole job. The entire job, the insulation was pulled, and we brought in a third-party hygienist to not only inspect behind our work, but to clear this job with third-party luminometer testing, and also particulate testing is also available to meet condition 2. This is all new subfloor insulation. So it is important to make sure your contractor is certified for NORMI and IICRC certification. Make sure they're following those protocols. And it's also important to have a third-party mold hygienist clear the work. Some of these companies will self-clear. Don't know about you, but that's unacceptable. It's kind of like letting the fox count the chickens in the hen house. You want that to be a third-party professional that's going to do that clearance testing to verify that the company did what they're supposed to do. So again, pretty cool. Tight crawl space, not really great for featuring the key components of the system, but certainly you can see the tighter the crawl space, the better the need for dead corner fans and pipe fans, which we have on this job, to move the air from this main crawl space to the secondary crawl space, which is at the right rear. And so we'll put that diagram up with a footprint up front of your screen so you can see why the system was designed the way it was designed and why this is so much better than an encapsulated crawl space. To use that dew point fired technology to keep the outside air as part of the solution. So if you have any questions on encapsulations, controlled ventilation systems, mold remediations meeting critical NORMI and IICRC standards, we'd appreciate a phone call. We can also refer you to our favorite licensed mold and air quality specialist to do testing before we even come out here, and certainly support that. You should before you start getting bids from contractors. But again, thank you for joining us for this combined controlled ventilation system installation and industrial mold cleaning service. If you have any additional questions, give me a call at the number at the bottom of your screen, and I'll be happy to have a phone consult with you, or perhaps even come to your home if you wish, and we can talk more about these very important critical issues. Again, this is Michael Masserang here in Charlotte, signing off. Another successful job here, and we look forward to seeing you on the next job. Hope you have a great rest of the day. Thank you.